Hello everyone! Today I'm going to do a pitching on a project for the creative or the visual coding course. So my project name is called the Doodleful. In the following, I'm going to first introduce the idea and plans of my project, then my learning process and method involved during the preparation work, and then analyze step by step how I execute these ideas and the problems I encountered during the coding progress. And then I will explain how I solve the problems. And finally, showing my outcome as well as my future expectation and further plannings on my project. First, have you ever heard of Doodle or have you ever played it when you're small? Yeah, that is actually my childhood favorite game. And so I want to try if I can make the game by using P5JS. So let's do a little flashback on the game. So it's like you click play on the game and you can use your space bar to change the pages. To restart the game, you use the space bar. And then to jump, you can using the arrow and then the doodle is going to move. Yep. And when you fall, the game's over. And I really hate it when the doodle fall into the middle of nowhere. It just made me feel so desperate. So it inspired me to make a new game called the Doodle Fall. So instead of jumping, I'm going to let the doodle just fall into the step and the platforms. So, how to make it real? Let's delve into the process and the method. Firstly, we have to spot what to learn. So we have to learn the P5JS coding, have to learn how to make different shapes such as circle, rectangle, squares, and how to implement the pictures into or background pictures into the P5JS sketch and how to draw different characters, how to make the 3D animation, how to add the sound effect, test, and also other commands like the variables, if, else, and also learn about some of the basic coding foundation for HTML and etc. And how do I learn it? Firstly, I learned through the coding lectures and seminars. Secondly, I self-learn it through YouTube channels such as the coding training channel. And also, third, I studied the P5JS references and the examples on the official website. And as well as I do it on Google Chrome, is that when I play the Doodle game, I inspect into the HTML code of the page and I can see to expand the head, the body, or different command of the page. And when I expand it, I can see the code inside, like var, which I also use it in my project later on, and also how it draw the doodle, like using the function draw, else and if else, and I take them as an example and as an idea on how I also draw the doodle head and also to make design on the platform and the game. And so after all these learning progress, I break my project into steps and do it step by step. Firstly, is the art design. We have to decide on the background, what color to use, what's the theme, and then how to draw the doodle characters, how to draw the platform, and combine them together in step 2 by using movement and animation. Like by using the movement and animation, we really make the game like into a real game of like moving and how do we move the doodle, like is it by the space bar or by the arrows, and I choose this by the mouse finally to move the doodle. So the doodle will move along when the mouse moves. And then third, we have to design the front page and end page of the game so that the game will start and end properly. And fourth, we need a score counting system. And fifth, we add some sound effects to make the game more interesting. And that's the plan and the steps of my project. So step 1, let's do on the art design. I decided the theme of the game as an alien and outer space background. And so the theme of it will be the doodle as the alien and also the background as the outer space. So that's why in the game of the background, I choose a dark gray color as the background. And also I would later on add the element of the outer space, such as the rocket or the other planet, and to complete my whole design and make the game a theme of the outer space. And so, second, also I have to learn how to draw the doodle. So here I show you the picture of a doodle. It's actually made up of curve, rectangle and the body, ellipse and the line. But then, as I mentioned, the art design, I use the outer space as the background, which is a dark gray color. So my doodle is not going to be a dark gray color. The line are not going to be black, because if it is black for the line of the doodle, the line to outshape the doodle, if it is black, it's going to look not obvious, or it's going to look like it disappear in the space. So that's why in this case, in my game, I decided to make my doodle line drawn by white color, which is using the code in the P5JS 255. Yes, and so the color code. And so the doodle, now let's delve into how to make it in P5JS. First, I learned it in the official website of the reference curve vertex. So by using the curve vertex, I can draw the curve easily. The first and the last point here is a series of the curve vertex command lines will be used to guide the beginning and the end of the curve. So as you can see here, the point 8491 and 3291 is actually the end point and the beginning point respectively. And so for the middle, the second and the third point, it will be the point for the curve to appear. And so a minimum of 4 points is required to draw a tiny curve. And so adding a fifth point, for example, it will mean that the curve is drawn between the second, third, and the fourth line. And so when drawing the doodle head, I actually use this command to draw the doodle head. The mouth of the doodle, and then I use ellipse to draw the head of the doodle. The command ellipse is actually taught in our coding lesson. In the week 2 lecture, we do exercises of drawing the ellipses, and I watched the video for many times and finally figure out how to apply it to my doodle module. And then the rectangle, I also learned it in our lectures and also in the P5JS references. As shown in the example, we have the rectangle command here. And so 3020 mean the XY coordinate of the rectangle to locate where it should be. And for this two part is the width and the height of the rectangle. So by using this 4 command together, the curve and the ellipse for drawing the head, the rectangle for drawing the body, and the line for drawing the leg of the doodle, I finally successfully make the doodle. And then I learned how to draw a platform through this YouTube link. It's a YouTube tutorial teaching on how to draw a platform. So by using the command draw function and also array. Then step 2, we combine the platform, the doodle, and the app design theme together. So let's see the outcome up to now. So as you can see in here, it is the draw function doodle. This part up to here, I use it to draw the doodle head by using the function, the command curve vertex, fill, ellipse, and line. And then this part is about the doodle body. I only use the rectangle as the main command. And then finally, the doodle feet, I only use the line for the feet. Yes, and as you can see, the stroke here is what I mentioned, the color code 255, so that is white in color. And the background, I use 50, and I use draw platform function to draw the platform with the color green, and also a function called random by the frame count, so that the platform would just appear like this. Yes, so as you can see here, what I say, like the background is actually gray in color. So that's why my doodle is drawn using white line instead of black. And so it's like this. Up to now, this is my outcome. But then I think of actually we need animation as our second step. So how can we make movement into the doodle or into the game? But then in this part, I face some challenges, is that the doodle now can move freely, even penetrating the platform. So we cannot end the game properly. Let me show you. Here, you can see the doodle is moving freely, and then it cannot land on any of the platform. And so it's like this, penetrating. And also if it fall out of the outer space, it just disappear and the game still continues, that the platform still move along. And so these are the situation now when I only combine the first part of the app design. And so second, we need some animation or some command to stop the game or to make the doodle fall and land on the platform properly. So here's my solution. I do them step by step. Firstly, I link the variable in the translate with the coordinate of the platform so the doodle can stand on the platform as shown here. And then step 2, I make the doodle move with the mouse by using the draw function and giving doodle the x coordinate of the doodle, the value of the mouse x is like shown here, doodle.x equal to mouse x. And so now they are equal, and that's why doodle will move with our mouse direction. And then I have to limit the position of the doodle by using another variable such that the doodle's coordinate is linked to the platform on the setup function. As shown here, I use if else command to do this. And then now the doodle can only move on the platform or fail from them. Okay, so here comes the outcome. Before, the doodle will penetrate through the platform, and now it will move with our mouse and only falls on the platform. And so I will show you. It's like the doodle now, it can fall on the platform. So up to now, I have already finished the first part of the app design and the movement and animation part and solved the problem that when the doodle would move, like penetrate along this platform, we move on to the front page and end page of the game. And I'm now undergoing this progress. So what about the improvement and expectation? How to improve the game? Firstly, I find out some of the bugs. Is that because without the front page and the end page, my game still cannot end properly. Like if the doodle fall out of the outer space, the game also still continue. So that's why we urgently need a front page and an end page for our game. And then also it's very awkward when the doodle fall. I find out the problem is like when the doodle fall on one of the platform, it will change the speed like this. Like it will fall faster when it get closer to the platform like this. And so it's a little bit awkward, and I want to try if there's any command that can solve with the problems. Yes. And so some improvement and goals here is that first, I will add a jump or other command into the game. And second, I need a proper start and ending. Third, I will finish the scoring system and add some of the interesting sound effects into it. And also, maybe I will add other obstacle or other element to make the game more interesting. And so that's up to now my progress for the project and also the future planning for my project. And thank you for listening. That's the end. Thank you.